Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It's Rachel. Y'all, I had a thought recently that I cannot keep to myself anymore. So I'm bringing it to you. And I'm going to say it kindly, but I'm also going to say it directly because I think it needs to be said. So here it is. Stop bringing your ex baggage into new situations. Stop blaming your new person for something the old person did. Stop expecting the new person to be like the old person. That's the whole thought. That's the episode. Now, I want to be really clear about who I'm talking to today, because this could come across as a victim's episode. It is not. I'm not talking to the person on the receiving end of this, although you are absolutely welcome here, and we're going to talk about you in a minute. I'm talking to the person doing it. I'm talking to the person who has somewhere in the last few years sat across from a new partner and reacted to them like they were somebody else, somebody worse, somebody who hurt you, and you didn't even fully realize you were doing it. This episode is the mirror your friends have been trying to hold up for a while now. The one where they say gently, "Hey, I don't think they actually did anything wrong. I think you're still mad at the last one." That's where we're going today. Why you're doing this and why you don't know. Let me start with some grace, because I want to be fair before I get sharp. Nobody wakes up in the morning and decides, today I'm going to punish my new partner for my ex's crimes. Nobody does this on purpose. Nobody enjoys it. The people doing it mostly have no idea they're doing it. So, what's actually going on? Why does this happen to almost everyone who's been hurt and then tries to date again? Your nervous system. That's what. When somebody hurt you in a real way, cheated, lied, abandoned, belittled, controlled, disappeared, whatever it was, your nervous system took notes. It cataloged every warning sign, every micro expression, every pattern that came before the bad thing. And then it stored all of that as, here is how betrayal looks. Here is what we watch for now. Your nervous system did not file all of this under lessons specific to that one person. It filed it under lessons for all people, forever, just to be safe. So when a new person comes along, even a totally different person, doing a totally innocent thing, your nervous system reads the situation through the old pattern. It sees a flicker that looks vaguely familiar, and it sounds the alarm. And here's the part that really matters. Your nervous system doesn't tell you it's doing this. It just hands you an emotion: fear, suspicion, anger, the certainty that something is wrong. And you, the person living in that body, experience it as, I just know something is up. I have a gut feeling. I can tell. But what you're actually experiencing is a pattern match from a different relationship with a different person who is not in the room anymore. Your gut in this particular area is sometimes not actually telling you the truth about the present. It is telling you the truth about the past. And those are not the same thing. So, that's the first thing I need you to hear today. If this episode is hitting close, you are not crazy. You are not a bad person. You are not uniquely toxic. You are running really intelligent old software, the kind that probably kept you alive at some point. The problem is that the software is running in a building where there's no longer a fire, and the alarm is going off anyway, at a person who isn't holding a match. What this looks like from the outside. Now, I want to do something a little uncomfortable. I want to describe what this looks like from the outside, because most of us, when we're the one doing it, cannot see it. From the inside, it just feels like reasonable caution. From the inside, every reaction is justified, every red flag is sharp, every concern is legitimate. But from the outside, from the perspective of the friends, family, and partners watching it happen, here is what they see. They see you start dating somebody new. They see you describe the new person in glowing terms for about a month. They see you light up. They see you say, "This one is so different." And then they watch the slow turn. The new person says something, and you flinch. They aren't sure why. The new person doesn't text back within an hour, and you get quiet. The new person comments innocently on something, and you snap. The new person makes a joke, and you take it the wrong way. Hard. The new person, who has not done anything wrong yet, has somehow done something wrong, repeatedly, to the point where your friends are looking at each other across the table thinking, "What is happening here?" And then the kicker. The new person comes up in conversation, and without realizing it, you compare them to your ex, sometimes positively. "He's so much better than my ex." Sometimes negatively. "He's starting to do the thing my ex used to do." Either way, you're comparing. And your friends, the good ones, the honest ones, start to gently say things like, "Are you sure this is about them?" Or, "I don't know, sweetie. That sounded pretty harmless to me." Or, "Careful, you're starting to do the thing," and you get defensive. Because of course you do. From the inside, it doesn't feel like the thing. From the inside, it feels like you're being careful, smart, protected, wise. Here's what I'm asking you to consider, just for a second, just for this episode. If everyone around you is starting to gently suggest that you might be reacting to someone who isn't actually there, they might be onto something. They are not gaslighting you. They are not naive. They are not picking the new person's side. They are seeing something from the outside that you cannot see from the inside. That outside view is exactly what this episode is. I am going to be that mirror. Not because I want to embarrass you, because I want you to be free from a fight that is not actually happening with the person in front of you. The 6 moves. This is where recognition happens. Okay, I want to walk you through 6 specific moves, and I want you to listen for the one that hits you. There will be 1, maybe 2, maybe more. Just notice. Move number 1, the innocent text spiral. Your new partner doesn't text back for a few hours. They're at work, they're driving, they're in a meeting, their phone is on silent. But you, sitting there with your phone in hand, do not arrive at any of those explanations. You arrive at, "They're losing interest. They're with someone else. They're about to leave me," just like the last one did. By the time they text back 2 hours later with a perfectly normal explanation, you have lived 3 lifetimes of pain. You have rewritten the relationship in your head. You have started planning how you'll act when they break up with you. That is not your new partner being absent. That is your old partner's behavior haunting your phone. The new one is just at the grocery store. Move number 2, replying to a sentence they didn't say. Your new partner says something completely benign, and you respond as if they said something completely different. Specifically, you respond as if they said what your ex used to say. They say, "Can we talk about money this weekend?" And you hear, "You are bad with money, and I'm about to attack you about it." Because that's what the old one did with that opener. They say, "I want to ask you something." And you hear, "Here it comes." Because that's how the old one started fights. They say, "You seem off today." and you hear, "You are too much for me," because that's how the old one started leaving. Your new partner is sitting across from you, having said a thing, watching you react to a totally different thing, with no idea what they apparently just said. That's not them being confused. That's them being interrupted by a ghost. Move number 3, bringing up the ex in unrelated fights. You are arguing with your current partner about something specific: the dishes, a weekend planned, something they forgot. And somewhere in the middle of the argument, the ex comes out. Maybe directly. "My ex used to do this exact same thing." Maybe sideways. "This is exactly what I was talking about." Maybe through implication. "I am so tired of being treated this way." Y'all, can I just say something here? If you find yourself bringing up your ex during a fight that has nothing to do with your ex, we should pause and have a discussion. I almost want to offer at this point to literally call the ex on the phone, like a lifeline, the phone and ex option, so they can have a seat in the conversation, or so your current partner can take it up directly with the person responsible. Because it's not fair to argue with one human being about what a different human being did 6 years ago. The current partner cannot defend themselves against accusations meant for someone else. That is a fight that cannot be won, and it's a fight they should not even have been entered into. Move number 4, X-shaped rules for the new partner. You set rules or expectations with the new partner that are clearly, obviously designed for somebody who is not them. No female friends because the old one cheated. Full phone access at all times because the old one was hiding texts. No nights out without you because the old one used those for affairs. Detailed schedules because the old one disappeared. Now, to be very clear, there are healthy reasons people negotiate boundaries around any of these things. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about rules being imposed unilaterally on someone who has done absolutely nothing to earn the surveillance because of crimes committed by someone else in a different relationship who is not here. If your new partner has to live under restrictions designed for your old partner, they aren't dating you. They are doing community service for someone else's marriage. Move number 5, waiting for the bad thing. This one is so quiet, so subtle, so insidious, and almost everyone who's been hurt has done it. You date the new person. They are kind. They're reliable. They show up. They keep their word. They do nothing wrong. And you cannot relax. You keep waiting for the other shoe, for the moment they reveal who they really are, for the betrayal you're sure is coming, because your nervous system cannot believe that this is the actual version. It is convinced the bad part is somewhere up ahead, and it's not letting you settle in until it shows up. 6 months in, a year in, 2 years in, you are still waiting. You are still scanning. The new person is still being kind, and your body is still bracing. Here's the cruel truth about this one. The bad thing might never come, and you may never enjoy the good thing because you spent the whole good thing waiting for the bad thing. And then the relationship ends, not because they did anything wrong, but because you wore yourself out waiting for the wound that was never coming. Move number 6, over-explaining yourself. Your old partner didn't listen, so you develop survival skills. You learn to over-explain. You anticipate every objection, to pre-defend yourself, to turn every simple statement into a paragraph that armors itself against attack before any attack has been launched. And now you do that with the new person, who actually listens, who actually hears you the first time, who doesn't need the 7 layers of justification. And the new person sits there listening to you explain why you got the cheaper option of detergent for the 3rd time in 5 minutes. And they're thinking, my love, I don't care. I never cared. I would have said okay the first time. Why are you afraid of me? And the answer is, you aren't. You're afraid of someone else who used to be in your kitchen demanding receipts. That's the gallery. 6 moves. Did any of them hit? If they did, don't panic. This is good news, because the only way out of this is to first see it. And if you saw it, even uncomfortably, even just one of them, even half of one, you just took the first step out. What it feels like from the other side. I want to do something a little different for a few minutes. I want to tell you what it feels like to be the new person in this dynamic. I am not going to tell you my own story, but I have been on this side more times than I'd care to admit, and so have a lot of people listening. Being the new person in somebody else's old fight is a very particular kind of lonely, because you came into the relationship as you, with your own history, your own quirks, your own way of doing things, your own communication style, your own past. And then, somewhere along the way, you realized you were being asked to play a role you didn't audition for. You were being handed someone else's script with somebody else's lines, and you were being judged on how well you delivered them. And when you tried to be yourself, when you tried to say, wait, that's not what I meant, or that's not what I did, or that wasn't me, that was them, you got told that you were defensive, or that you were minimizing, or that you sounded just like them. Eventually, you start to disappear. You start to flatten. You start to anticipate which version of you they need today. You start to apologize for things you didn't do just to keep the peace because you can't fight a ghost. And the cruel part, the really cruel part, is that you can't even take it personally because they're not actually mad at you. They're mad at someone you've never met. And there's no defending yourself against an accusation that was meant for somebody else. So, if you're listening to this and you're the new person, hear me say this clearly. You are not crazy. You are not making it up. The way you are being treated is real, and it is, of course, unfair. And the fact that they don't know they're doing it doesn't erase the fact that they are doing it. And if you're the one doing this to somebody, right now, I want you to picture them, the person you're dating, the actual one, the one in front of you, not the composite of them plus your last person. Picture them, their face, their voice, the way they laugh, the reason you chose them in the first place. Now imagine being them in your relationship, being interrupted constantly by somebody they never met, being scolded for crimes they didn't commit, being asked to apologize for someone else's failures, being put on probation for a sentence they didn't earn. That's what they're living right now because of moves they don't even know are happening. They deserve better than that, not because they're perfect, but because they're them, and you chose them, and they showed up. And the least you owe them is a chance to be the person they actually are, without somebody else's shadow in the room. What fresh actually looks like. Okay, recognition without a path forward is just shame, and I'm not in the business of shaming people who are trying. So let me give you something to actually do with all of this. Here is what it actually looks like to start fresh with a new person. 6 things. I'll keep them clean. 1. The new person gets the benefit of the doubt by default. They are innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. The bar for assuming they have bad intentions is high. The default assumption is that they meant well, even if it landed wrong. This is going to feel uncomfortable because your nervous system has trained you to scan, suspect, and brace. The new policy is to give them benefit of the doubt first. Ask questions second. Conclude bad intent only after you've actually checked. 2. Your past wounds are information about you. They are not evidence about them. This one is huge. I want you to write it down somewhere if you have to. The fact that you have a wound tells me a lot about your history. It tells me almost nothing about the person you're currently dating. When something they do sets off an old wound, that is information about you, about what your nervous system is sensitive to, about what work you might still need to do. It is not, in itself, a verdict about them. 3. When something sets off an old wound, say so, out loud, honestly. This is the move that changes everything. Instead of acting on the old wound like it's about them, tell them what's happening. Hey, what you just said, I know you didn't mean anything by it, but it's hitting an old spot for me from a different relationship. I'm not mad at you. I'm just having a moment. Give me a second. That single move, done consistently, changes the entire texture of a relationship because it lets them know what you're working with. It separates the present from the past out loud instead of letting the past contaminate the present in silence. 4. They get a fair audition. They don't get a rerun. Your new partner is a whole person with their own history, their own quirks, their own way of doing things. They deserve to be met as themselves, fully, before you decide who they are. That means resisting the urge to fill in the blanks based on the last one. It means actually getting to know them, asking them questions, letting their answers surprise you, letting them be different than what you expected, sometimes better, sometimes just different. They are not a sequel. They are a whole new movie. 5. Your healing is your job. They can support it. They cannot do it for you. This is the one nobody likes to hear, but it has to be said. The wound from the last relationship is yours. The work of healing it is yours. A good partner can hold space, can be patient, can support you, can listen, but they cannot heal it for you. They cannot apologize on behalf of the person who hurt you. They cannot fix what was broken before they arrived. They cannot earn back the trust that someone else lost. That is not their job. It was never going to be. If you are dating someone and waiting for them to somehow heal what your ex did, you are going to be disappointed through no fault of theirs. They were never assigned to that job, and making it their job is going to break the relationship before it starts. 6. The ex doesn't get a vote anymore. Here's the rule I want to leave you with. The minute that relationship ended, they lost their say in your life. They don't get to influence your decisions. They don't get to shape your communication style. They don't get to set the rules of your next relationship. And every time you bring them into the current relationship, every fight, every comparison, every rule, every flinch, you are giving them a vote they no longer earn. You are keeping them alive in your life, past the point where they should have been retired. They forfeit their say when the relationship ended. Don't keep handing it back. They have already taken enough. Let me bring this home. If anything in this episode hit close, I want to say two things to you, both of them gently. One, you are not a bad person. You are not toxic. You are not uniquely broken. You are running a really old protection system in a place where the danger is no longer present. The fact that you noticed any of it today means you were already ahead of where you were an hour ago. That counts. And two, the work is real, but it's doable, and the reward is enormous. Because here's what's actually on the other side of this. If you can stop punishing the new person for the old person's crimes, if you can give them a fair chance to be themselves, if you can hold your healing as your own work and not their assignment, if you can let the ex finally lose their vote, you get something most people never get. You get to actually meet the person in front of you as themselves, not as a stand-in, not as a suspect, not as a defendant in a trial they didn't sign up for, as themselves. And you get to find out who they actually are, not who you fear they'd turn out to be, not who the last one was, who they are, specifically, surprisingly, maybe better than you'd let yourself imagine. That's worth the work. That's worth setting the old stuff down. That's worth showing up to the new relationship as the new version of you, instead of the bracing, scanning, exhausted version that the last one trained you to be. They are not your ex. Let them not be. Y'all, thanks for sitting with me on a tougher one today. I tried to be gentle and I tried to be honest. And those two things sometimes don't fit in the same sentence as nicely as I want them to. But this one needed to be said. And I think a lot of us needed to hear it. Send this to whoever you want, including yourself. Some of us need to hear it more than once. Take care of yourselves. And when you can, take care of each other.